The industry perspective is a space for those in the industry to speak freely about their experiences without fear of retaliation or a negative review. The views and opinions shared here are solely that of the individual and do not reflect the establishments in which they work. With that said, if you feel offended by these jokes, fuck it. We weren't expecting to get tipped by you anyway.
Because it's a dick in the rainbow.
Let freedom ring.
It's going through the hole.
Well, I guess that's a good place to start.
That's a good place to start.
He's going to use that as the intro.
Goddamn right I am.
I mean, better that than everything else we were talking about.
Oh, yeah. I haven't had that.
Oh, man.
It's good.
We are back.
Yes, we
Back
are.
and back.
Yeah.
Mezcal.
Hell yeah. What did you call it?
I knew you were going to hear it. I knew your ears were just going to.
Mezcal.
We're in California.
Mezcal.
Gotta let it go.
What would you like to call it?
Mezcal.
Bro,
Mezcal.
I'm sorry. I don't speak Spanish, even though I've been on Duolingo for about 3 months. So hold your horses.
On Babbel.
On Babbel?
I feel like Babbel.
He's not on Babbel.
I am on Babbel.
He has Babbel.
No, I am on Babbel. I babble a lot. The only issue I have with Babbel though is that it mutes your other audio. I like to while trying to Spanish. I have my headphones in because a lot of times I'll cardio or something. Well, all of my music goes away. Matter, just learning and like I don't want to be sweating while learning and shit. It's too many flashbacks.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Too many flashbacks. That's the only. That's the reason why I only do it twice a week because it's fucking rough.
I have like 2 week spans. Damn, I said it again. I have 2 week spans where I do Duolingo every day and I put forth 20 to 30 minutes, and it's good. And then I just fall off for some reason.
As we all do.
But mezcal.
Mezcal.
So you want me to roll the L?
I don't think it's the rolling of the L. I think it's just they don't like the hard A.
Yeah, when people say it, it's like
hard A at the end.
It's like MEZCA.
Mezcal. No. I'm not saying mezcal, but mezcal.
You did say mezcal.
Mezcal.
Yeah. There you go.
Boom.
I mean, I don't really care. I'm just giving you shit.
Clearly care.
It's just funny.
Care. I guarantee you. The fact that you reacted before he reacted lets me know that you've reacted quite a bunch of times.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the podcast where we pull back the curtain and give you some insight what goes on behind the scenes of Imperial Bar and Restaurant. I like to call that the industry perspective. You better have gotten it that time.
Whoa, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty
fast.
What's
up, motherfuckers?
Huzzah!
That was pretty fast. I sounded like one of those infomercials on like Spanish TV where they're just like saying yeah,
that's what I always hear when you do it.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think people understand what he's saying at this point? Okay.
Probably not.
No.
We have new listeners
every day actually
that want to hear what the intro is, perhaps.
Well, they can go to like the first
episode. All right.
Refer
back to episode 1 through 10 if you'd like to hear it at normal speed.
Yeah. Ain't got time to waste. Yeah. Spend the next hour and a half.
Personally, I think he's just waiting for someone to call him out.
Yeah, that's kind of that's exactly what it is.
But no one's willing to do it.
No one's gonna do it.
I get that. Yeah. Sure.
Just like the time I didn't do it and nobody said it.
Oh, you didn't do it.
Still thinks about that to this day.
Yeah. There was one episode, it was like 20 episodes ago where I forgot to do it. And then the following time we recorded, I was like, wait, you didn't do it last time. Nobody said it. So.
But we're also not active on it.
Yeah.
I'm not a big comment person. Mostly because I will talk to you right in front of me. And that doesn't always go over well in the comment section. So I just kind of.
It doesn't. Because
especially if someone's talking shit, I will talk shit back. I don't give a fuck. You can see me in person, and you might win. I don't care, but I'm still gonna say what I gotta say.
What I have to say.
Yeah, you will not punk me in the comment section. It's not gonna happen. I'm just not having it. It's like somebody came for my hair one day, and I was like, "Bitch, fuck you." Every photo they had was them fishing. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Wait, what?
It was like Fisher Brad or some shit. I don't fucking
comment
know.
on my shit when everything about you
like
is
their
fishy.
profile.
He
Just
was-
like, actually,
He
I have
was
things to
some
say about yours.
he was some wannabe Johnny Tsunami looking motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like he just was fishing.
absolutely.
Shit. He was fishing with a life vest. Fucking amateur.
He was fishing for attention.
Ooh.
And we
I'll
threw
give you
his
that one.
ass back in the ocean.
However, if you're still watching, we
Yeah, you
appreciate
still-
your likes and
you
your
still need it,
comments,
bro.
and
I wish
we
that
appreciate that you still are with us.
They're not a
and-
fan.
Oh, they're not a fan.
No, it was
I
just
mean,
some
they're not so
random
here.
ass dude.
Then
It was
okay.
a drive-by hating.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's always weird.
Yeah.
I thought
They don't like, they don't follow. They're just like, I'm
if
gonna
you-
comment
if
this.
you like,
that'll show them.
if you're giving feedback, I'm trying.
yeah.
If you're giving feedback and that's actually what you want to say, and you're giving us like pointers, damn it, you're giving us pointers to get better, then by all means. But if you're just driving by and just shooting out the window as you go to the next pod, then fuck off.
That's a hate crime.
It is
That
a
is.
hate crime because we are all of color.
I was just saying
Oh,
they're hating.
oh,
Crime.
oh.
Yeah, they're hating is a crime.
I was making a bigger deal.
I wasn't gonna make it about race.
It's about
Fuck that
race.
motherfucker though.
Reaching.
Yeah.
Reaching.
Oh. Oh, the race card can always be reached to. It's
Right here in the
it's
pocket.
Right here. What?
Right here in the pocket.
Yeah.
Keep it next to my ID.
Like a Yu-Gi-Oh trap card. Activate my trap card. My face down trap
I
card.
thought I was just walking down the street. No, you're committing racism. What? How? You walked on that side of the street and you saw me. So
You saw me
clearly
and you crossed the
you
road.
crossed the road. No,
Mm.
actually, that's where my destination is. Nope. That's not.
That's not.
Just
Anyway,
went where I wasn't. Anyway, how was your
Racism.
weekends, guys? How we all doing?
Pretty good. Not really eventful weekend for me on my side, at least.
you take notes on your weekend?
Yeah.
That's
but
dope.
Sometimes I
Nice.
don't always.
I should start doing
It's a
that.
little bit more difficult for you. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've seen how your bar looked, how he figures.
Yeah.
I'll talk about mine.
Sure.
So, my weekend was actually pretty decent last week. The other days that I didn't work, I heard that you had
Nice.
had a good time. I was really happy about that. The weekend went by smooth. I will admit that it was one of those weekends where I don't know. I feel a little guilty when I feel like I haven't worked hard as
Mm,
shift. But I also know that a lot of times because of that sense of guilt or whatever,
Right.
I work harder or try to work harder that I'm around. Not in the sense that they're not trying as hard as me, is that I'm trying to outdo everybody, not make their jobs easy.
when you say you don't feel like you say you don't feel as if you're working harder than them, what do you mean by that? Or like how?
Like
Oh,
if I'm
what are
looking
you
at
trying- yeah.
if I'm looking at my coworker and they're doing like 2 drinks at a time, they got people. I'm just doing 1 drink or
Yeah.
nothing. It's yo, how can I help you? Do you need me to take care of a drink?
Right.
You need me to take care of an order? You need me to
Right.
grab a ticket? What do you need me to do?
Yeah.
If I'm not doing that, I feel like I'm not working hard as them.
I love that because I definitely have moments behind the bar where I feel as if I'm going back and forth across the whole bar, and as I'm going across the bar, I'm saying behind 2 or 3 other coworkers that are just standing there talking about
Right.
something. And I'm just like, hey guys, if you would like to talk to a guest, that'd be great for me.
I just can't be that guy.
And it's this weird, I guess, like awareness thing of I know this person sat down here, this person, their water's getting a little bit low, this person over here, they put in like their appetizers, but I know they want to put in their entrees, and so like I have all of that going on in my head at once, and a lot of times I don't feel as if everybody has that same awareness. And so I feel annoyed when I look across the bar and I see someone's water is getting low and they're just la-di-da,
Yeah.
ooh. And so I appreciate that.
I think. Thank you. I think a lot of people just are very reactionary.
Mm-hmm.
They're not proactionary. A lot of times management wants you to
Proactive.
be,
Of course.
They want you to be proactive. They want you to be like, oh, you see the water, their level of their drink getting low. You want to head and this and that. A lot of other people taking that time. They're thinking more about resetting for themselves.
Right.
Not that they're for the guest.
No, it's
the guest will let me know.
Right.
Or, sounds like you and I are more in the sense, I'm looking for all those details. I'm like, you've seen me. I need to know what to do next.
Your eyes, like, it's crazy. You look up and it's just this like owl, just like,
what can I do?
Right.
Which is very weird when I make eye contact with someone. Like I look up and they're, I'm like, that wasn't for you.
That wasn't for you. That was for the entire. You're looking at the entire bar, not even just the bar top, but everybody is like, this person's coming here. I just see these people coming in. And that awareness.
With the water thing, I really don't ever fill it up until they ask for it. And that's mainly because...
can I stop you? Because I love how you almost tried to give yourself credence. I don't always, and then you change it to, I don't ever really
I'm not gonna
ever
lie.
do this.
I'm just going to be real. I don't. I fucking don't.
I just love the body language. He was like, I don't always fill up the water,
right?
Unless they ask for that shit.
Like, fuck what y'all heard, but these motherfuckers gonna be thirsty around me.
I mean this shit.
The reason I don't do it,
thirsty around
and
me.
I don't want to say it's entirely based on this, but it just gave me a little insight. There's this video I saw a long time ago. It was Tyler the Creator. He was out with
favorite artist right now, by the way.
This was when still he was doing like Loiter Squad and shit. Maybe a little bit towards the tail end of
favorite artist at that time. No, but go for it.
Still fucking dope. Cherry Bomb,
he was
Wolf,
but a lot of Loiter Squad stuff. It was just antics were too for me because I'm older.
Right. We went through Jackass, and so like
I already saw the white guys do it. We were just like.
Cool to see the black kids do
it. There's nothing against it. There's nothing
by then.
Right. I think we're just a little bit older. But when he got to Flower Boy, I was like, oh, what the fuck is this? This dude's amazing.
So it was around that era. He was in like or some shit, and he was just doing it with fans for some reason. I don't know. Anyways, he did like this Q&A kind of with them, and one of them said, "It's like, what's your thing with like when you go to somewhere to eat and them not filling the water?" He said, I just like to finish something. He's like, if I have a drink, don't come refill it. Let me finish it. I want that sense of accomplishment. So whenever that whole water thing, I don't know if that's how they feel, but who knows? Maybe they just want to finish it. Maybe, I don't fucking know. But also they'll let me know when they want it be refilled. What if they don't want more fucking water? And I just did that. I set an obstacle in front of them.
I had too many coworkers and myself like shoot out because that's why it's just had too many. I remember that place we got together. Mm-hmm. There was this one. I told you this story. You weren't. I don't know if you were working there. I was training this guy, his first shift, training him, and he's telling me about how his accent is so thick that, and so he's telling me, "Oh, I was born here. I've been to this country. I bartended here, Sweden, Japan, all these other places."
Oh, wow.
Like he has an extensive resume. Right. And so he's, working there and he's telling me about how I don't need to be here. I was just bartending for fun. Not like that. He was saying that his real estate was going well, but he enjoyed bartending. He had done it for long.
Got you.
So he was saying this particular job is an hour drive for me. I don't need this job.
Right.
I'm just here because asked me to like that kind of deal. I was like, okay, I get the vibe from him, like might work here, he might not. One of the higher ups in the company just happened to be dining there that day.
Oh boy.
And just decided to be on one and started chastising him for not refilling his water. And he says to him, he's like, I'm sorry, man, it's my first day. Trying to learn these drinks and they got me doing tickets and I'm just I just didn't have time to see your water. He's like, it doesn't matter. Those are steps of service. My water should never be below halfway and this and that. He's like, we have a problem.
I love that response. I love that response.
Exactly.
Did you know who he was?
Yes.
Okay, so you're watching this from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's the Michael Jackson meme
I had
eating
my
popcorn.
I was just watching.
Go on.
And he was. I heard him say like, "Do we have a problem there?" And the dude was like, "Yeah, we have a problem. Do you not know who I am?" He's like, "No, I don't know who you are."
No,
For me,
genuinely.
it was beautiful because
Yeah.
I was like, "This motherfucker's about to quit." So go off.
Yeah,
Go off
yeah.
on him.
There's no
And
loss
this
here.
motherfucker needs to be put in his place.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I don't care how high you are in the company. You must be high out your mind to think you're going to talk to me any kind of way. I don't need this fucking job.
Right,
I will find another one.
right.
And it was just nice to see him be told that to his face. Like, and he was like, "Oh, well, I'm, the blah, 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 blah for this company and this, and you should know who I am. Even if you don't know what, blah, 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 whatever." And he was like, "All right, man. Well, I'm sorry, but did he get that water for you?" He refilled the water and then he came over to me. He's like, "Yeah, man, I don't think I want to work here." And I was
Right.
like, "Yeah, I'm not surprised."
Yeah, no, it's a wrap.
Yeah,
It's a
like,
wrap.
It's over. It's over.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, like you said, how high you up on like the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
still cash these hands.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes.
That executive desk don't protect you from
Oh
hands.
no.
Yeah. No.
I'm not saying go and start fighting your managers
I
or
am.
CEOs.
Go fight your fucking manager.
Yikes.
Let them fucking know.
Yikes.
We do
Let
not
'em
condone
know.
violence in the workplace.
Oh, I condone it outside of it though.
Right. Well,
Off company
when
property.
you clock
Yeah.
out, and then meet me outside.
No, not outside.
Clock
outside.
off and clock them.
Not outside. Outside.
Clock off and clock them.
There you are. Yeah, absolutely. That's a phrase.
Yeah.
Coin that.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying be dumb enough to like.
I'm gonna clock
"Hey,
out
let me meet
and then
you
I'm gonna
outside."
clock you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't meet me right outside because then everybody's gonna hear about it. Let's talk about it. Where do you want to meet?
Let's go to Starbucks.
Just me and you. Ain't nobody even got to know that this shit.
Punching out and punching through.
Let's just go ahead and do that. Let's
Yeah.
just do it that way. You got the balls to do that. We can do it.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna talk to me anymore. It's
no.
just a job, bro. It's just
Yeah.
a fucking job.
Also,
Absolutely.
it's water. Like, don't get mad that I didn't fill the water. Like,
You really want water? You got 2 fucking legs. Go to the bathroom. Put your head under the sink.
Okay.
You needed that bad.
all right.
If it's that
Or-
fucking serious,
Or just nicely ask.
Right.
or that, yeah,
Can,
I guess.
Can you please refill my water?
Right.
I guess
Even though
that's the
his
other
water
option.
was not empty. Can I please have some more water?
Right.
There's an easier way to do that.
Right.
You don't start off a conversation trying to be.
Especially as like an executive board or whatever. That's how you talk to the people you're above. Really,
Mhm.
that is shitty for somebody of that level to be talking to the fucking frontline employees. That is terrible.
Yeah.
And that speaks more about the company, about the person, that they allow somebody like this to work at that level and talk to employees like that. Like, you think you're better than me? You think you're
You
fucking
think you're
better than me?
than me.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that 3-piece suit was bulletproof,
Wow.
Yeah. Not handproof.
not handproof.
Not handproof. John Wick proved that.
Yeah,
You can get a bulletproof suit, but you can still catch these hands.
catch these
bro.
hands.
Day of
You
the
can
week.
still
I'm
catch
sorry.
them. But to me, I feel like a lot of that comes
That's
from.
again. These are jokes. It's just very extreme. I'm
Nah,
just
fuck that.
speaking and saying like you can't talk to people like that because you may catch the wrong one and they
Mhm.
may whoop your ass right then and there. Not give
They
a fuck.
decide this job is not worth the way that you're
And
talking
guess
to
what?
me.
Yeah.
You'll get another job, but they still beat your ass.
Yeah.
You ain't never gonna live that
Nope.
ass whooping down. I'm
and
sorry,
you still
bro.
have to show up to your executive office with
And
both
everybody's
black
talking.
eyes. How did you get those black eyes?
You gotta-
I wanted more water.
You gotta walk past the bussers.
Yeah.
You know we're talking shit. You know they're talking
Yeah.
shit.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, but I feel like a lot of that comes from the hiring process of when you get to these bigger restaurants, they start hiring from corporate side,
Mm-hmm.
people who have never worked within service industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually know a few people who are in management, have not, bartended, haven't anything,
Dude,
but they actually do care about their employees
bro.
because they take the time to learn about their employees, but also the job itself.
Right.
They try to find out what are the things that I wouldn't know because I never did the job. But you get these other people who come in from the corporate world. Oh, it's just no. Oh, it's just that.
Bro.
They treat people like shit.
So because I do inventory at my job, I spend a little more time with my GM than I need to.
Oh.
And sometimes we shoot the shit and just get a little bit more chummy. But at some point we're just having conversation, and I believe I asked him something about his experience with serving and or bartending. He was like, "Oh no, I can never do your job."
Then how you gonna tell me how to do it?
Like,
Wow.
you're specifically making all of these decisions about my job, about the value of my job, about what I'm doing, how I should be doing it. And he just told me, yeah, I went to college for hospitality management and that type of thing. And I believe he said I did a little bit of serving during that time period, but he's never actually been like a career server bartender. And I just was like, this is crazy, bro, because you are legitimately making a lot of executive decisions, oftentimes without actually consulting us that are actually doing this job. He's been in the company for a long time, so I'm sure he's,
knows his shit.
Yeah, well, he knows his corporate shit.
Yeah.
And he's talked to other servers and bartenders and people that have done it, but it's a little disheartening when you just know that you've never done this job and you have no idea what we actually put up with day in, day out. And also, a lot of the GMs at my job never are there past like 6 p.m. Like, a lot of them are there, and every once in a while you might see them stay a little late, but they're never there to close. They have other, like, the subordinate managers. That's a horrible way to put that.
It's the newer managers.
The newer managers are the people that are there to close, because God forbid I'm not home for my family because I'm a GM. Right. And it's just, if you run this company and this business, why wouldn't you want to see how this business is run at its peak hours? Because my restaurant gets crazy at like 10:30. We'll be kind of slow, and then 10:30 we get a hit with all of the ratchet people at like 10:30 to 12. That's when they come in. They order ribeye steaks, well done, at 11:30.
Your job and come
and then they come to your job, but they're fully fed.
That don't change a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
So when you were to touch on what you were saying about them going to school for hospitality and shit, I think I think something should be implemented in that if you're going to school for hospitality, business, that kind of shit, while you're in school for that, it should be required that you also work a service industry job.
That's what happened.
And the what's it for? The incentive is that it counts towards credits and or like, whatever this, and like make it something where it's like it pairs well, and it's like you get this
similar
and that.
You
get
an internship with
like kind of an internship, but you also have a job. You have a full-time, like full-pay job,
that's how
whatever.
They try to couch it to have a job.
Or whether it's part-time or whatever, but like you get paid what you get paid, this and that, and then you get credits as well. But it should also be a requirement before you get your diploma. You need to have at least 3 months working in a service industry job.
I didn't inquire. I didn't inquire how long he was a server.
But I'm just saying I think that should be a requirement before you graduate.
He did do some time as a server while he was in college pursuing that degree. But I know he literally said in my face, "No, I could never do what you do," and I was just.
To me, that's the equivalent of someone saying, "Oh, I worked at a Denny X amount of." You're working like, and then you're going to school during the day. That well, then you get your degree immediately. Charge of people for working at a time that you have no.
Right.
Got your degree at night.
Right.
Like your degree was the work that you did, not the classes you took.
Yeah.
You got your degree at night, 5 or 10. Not when there's 50 to 100 to 200 people.
Right.
Then you want to be making all of it.
And give them a choice where they do their internship. Waffle House for a week, Denny's for a month from 12 to 5.
Oh, there's levels to this
or
shit.
you do the Applebee's on the weekends.
But here's the other thing.
Oh, you know what I saw today that threw me off? Hooters next to it. I was
That
like,
sounds.
I was like, so the family sits at
horrible.
Chili's while dad's at Hooters,
Absolutely, absolutely.
looking at his daughter's fucking friends. I fucking hate that shit. Hooters needs to go, bro. I'm
Wait.
done. I'm
Yeah.
done with Hooters.
You're done with Hooters?
I'm done with Hooters.
Yeah, Hooters has been done for like maybe almost a decade.
Okay, so
Like,
for one,
Hooters has been
to
done.
give credence to what you guys are saying, Hooters have been closing down across the country, left and right.
Not the time for it. It had its
However,
40-year run.
I still enjoy the wings at Hooters and the company at Hooters.
Wings aren't that good
I
to
am
say
not
business.
saying
I enjoy it. I
am not saying that they are not like filling a niche. I'm saying that they have not caught up
No.
to the rest.
It's not 2023 Hooters.
20
yeah.
years ago, Hooters
Yeah.
was still okay.
Right.
But what I don't want to see is 21-year-old
No.
girl wearing booty shorts and
No.
a tight shirt.
It's weird.
It's so weird.
It's
It
weird.
is.
I'll give you that.
And it's not that it's weird to me to see them dress. I don't care about how they're dressed.
Sure.
What I care about, guys who
There's
go
still
there
groups of guys
are
that
just,
come
like,
there.
so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Catcalling
I love
type
the money
shit.
that they get to make, man.
Right.
Yo,
For
make
sure.
your money. But there needs to be a little bit more of a buffer because I also feel like there's a lot of negative reinforcement that comes with working at a place 19 and you're working with these guys who are, or not working with, but serving men who are in their 40s and 50s,
Sure.
coming in there thinking, talk to you any kind of way, put their hands on you any kind of way or whatever,
Okay.
just because of your age and where you work, outfit that you're wearing or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you carry that to the next job and the next
For sure.
job. You know what I'm saying? It's
I've had a coworker
Stuff like
that
that
used
just
to
needs
work
to
for a
stop.
Hooters, and she enjoyed. She's very much removed from the Hooters experience, the
Right.
Hooters, but she very much enjoyed it, and she
Which
had fun with it.
I have friends
and I
as
think
well.
I think it's one of those things where maybe certain Hooters allow that kind of protection around their girls, and it doesn't get as creepy like
That's what I'm
that.
saying.
Um,
That's what I'm
and
saying.
I don't know.
Hooters still has security guards, right? Like they have.
Not
it's
like that.
it's
man.
not like
strip club security guards,
Yeah,
like,
not like that.
it's
Not all Hooters are created the same.
no way.
Isn't there another one? What's it called? Like Tilted Kilt?
Tilted Kilt.
Tilted Kilt's another
what's
one.
that?
Tilted Kilt stole their model.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
It's
ain't never heard of it.
Hooters in the mountains
Yeah.
because it's like they wear flannel and khaki shorts.
Okay.
It's like it's Hooters mixed with Target.
I've never been. I've only heard about it.
Wait,
A lot
that's
of
not a
khaki
thing.
and
Wait, what?
like khaki and red.
It's it's basically like
We're
From
not
what I
skipping
saw,
over
It's
Hooters
the
mixed
upscale
with.
version. It's Target. It's like Hooters is Walmart and Tilted Kilt or no Twin Peaks.
you're talking about Twin
I'm
Peaks.
talking about Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks. Tilted Kilt is basically Scottish
Tilted
Hooters.
Kilt is the Scottish Hooters. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What you were describing, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not.
No,
No,
that's
it's
Twin
Twin Peaks.
Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
Twin
Yeah.
Peaks.
But
See?
Tilted Kilt is Scottish Hooters. They wear kilts and then they have like these tops that mushes their torso.
Yeah.
So it's
like
more like
it.
Catholic schoolgirl Hooters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mountain School.
It's Scottish Hooters. But
But even then, they still take
And Hooters.
no, like
Oh.
a Tilted Kilt or
Oh, okay.
like there's just this newer age of thinking of like, okay, yeah, we have the majority of our staff as far as our staff attractive women, but we also need to make sure that the patrons that come in here show them the proper fucking respect.
The
I just
tone
don't-
is set.
I don't see that shit at Hooters. It just has that
Right.
old school mentality of just do what the fuck you want.
Right.
And you know, you can call it woke, whatever the fuck you want to. It doesn't offend me. I'm just saying, at some
It's
point,
like-
that's someone's fucking daughter, bro.
100%.
That's someone's
I
daughter.
don't
someone.
think I've
That's a
seen
person.
the Hooters experience. I assume that it happens clearly, but I've never seen a Hooters experience where it got creepy like
Oh,
that.
I've seen some.
Oh, okay.
I've seen
Everyone I've been
real
to,
fucking bad ones.
clearly there's a sense of, okay, whatever, you're attractive.
I've been to a
but-
Hooters in Yuma, Arizona.
Oh, okay.
I've
It's
seen
probably a little
some
bit less
I've been-
oversight there.
Yuma, Tucson.
Got you.
I've been to
Gross.
like the Hooters in the places
The most recent one I went to, I think, was in Gardena, and
yeah, like
it's pretty chill there.
that's different.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There's creepy guys that come in there and they sit at the bar and
absolutely.
they're looking, but I've never seen like any physical barrier cross or anything. Oh wow, okay. I stand corrected. I did not know it was going down like
story
that.
I was saying. So we were talking about like embarrassing stories.
Yeah,
I've seen guys like because of where they are.
Yeah, that's weird. That's super weird. Did we finish catching up over our weekends?
No.
Actually, we've already like migrated into the second topic.
Cool.
Comparing service industry, other locations, other different like office work and things like that, because there's also a meritocracy that goes with, which I don't want to upset anyone too much on this. Kind of rare because normally I don't give a fuck.
This is scary. Strap in, everybody.
Strap in and strap on. It's actually part of the description for the last episode, so thanks.
I knew you were going for that. When he said strap in, I was like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. And then
here comes the strap on. But
with the rainbow in the corner.
Yes, sir. But if you know how they talk about if you're not in on the joke, you are the joke kind of deal. And when I say there's like a meritocracy, especially when it you know the people who are really good at their job with how much they get away with and how much respect they go.
Sure.
You know, kind of like an office where you would get promoted based on, you know, what you've done in the service industry. See the people who shifts.
Oh yeah.
Have the most regulars and things like that.
Yeah.
It's a meritocracy. And I've also come to realize lately how alienating that can feel for the part of it.
Like the other bartenders,
other servers, busters, whatever. You know, when you're not as good at your job as your peer is, catch up to them. Especially when you're new to the job. That can be very alienating. Like, say you're the newest busser, and there's one busser that's better than everyone. Those they're going to be a bar back event, or a bartender, server event,
right?
So everyone kind of follows their lead. So then you end up almost that high school mentality of, oh man, I got to kind of suck up to them to get in good with everyone else.
I feel that more lies in within the person. If you're new to it or new to the place, don't compare yourself, because then you're gonna feel like that, like, damn, I gotta catch up. Like, no, just you're in your lane now, be in your lane, do the best that you can, learn, and then, you know, try to step up to the plate or whatever. But if you go in with that mindset saying like, oh, they're the shit, everybody fucks with them, damn, I gotta be that too, you're gonna stumble. You're gonna fucking fall. You're gonna fail. You're gonna be pissed off. You're gonna hate it. You're gonna alienate yourself in the process, because you're gonna fuck up, and then your coworkers are gonna be pissed off at how much you're fucking up, and not gonna invite you to go to the fucking
kickback
or the industry bar or whatever. Right. Yeah, they're not gonna, because you're fucking up, and they're gonna talk shit about you. So just, you know, that kind of just stay in your lane and learn the ropes. Do what you got to do. And you'll get to that level. It doesn't happen overnight, and you just, it's a vetting process. You just got to get your hands dirty a little bit, and you'll get there. So I see what you mean. Like, some people can feel that way, but I really do think that it's more on the person. If you go in there thinking that you got to be on that level, you're gonna fuck up. You got to go in there and do the job that is assigned to you, and do it to the best of your ability. Don't be like the busser that's able to fucking hold two fucking things, and don't do that. Just do your job. You'll get there.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
Okay. Fuck that shit. You need to go in there with a fucking superstar NBA All-Star performance.
I feel that everything in life is politics. Everything in life is politics. And while, yes, don't necessarily go in there thinking I need to carry all these things. I feel like you take your first couple weeks at a new job and you just observe and you just figure out like, okay, who are the people that I need to impress, or who are the people that I need to watch, or who are the people that are doing the job that I want to be doing next, and you follow their lead. Like for instance, when I started my job, I wasn't able to become a server originally. They started me as a barback, or not as a barback, I'm sorry, as a busser. And I got really good. I just was a good busser, but also while I'm bussing, I'm talking to tables. And so they see me talking to tables like, well, he's already damn near doing the job of a server besides just taking the orders. We'll promote him to server. And when I started the current, that was my first job in a gastropub a few years ago. But now when I started the current job, I started as an expedite for a minute. As I'm being an expedite on expedite. Sorry, expedite is the person that expo, yeah. Right? So people that don't know, that's a person when the food comes up from the kitchen. There's a person there that puts it to the ticket and makes it mostly available and efficient for the people that come to pick up the food.
You're the ones that basically organize what should go out at what time. You're like, all right, take all this, or right. No, don't take that yet. This is coming out right
or
now.
You look at the food and you know, oh, this is missing this. You forgot this, or I need this condiment to go with this. Yeah. So I did that for a couple of weeks before I actually became a server. So when I became a server, I knew all of the stuff to upsell, because a lot of the other servers didn't even know, oh, wow, you could add avocado, mushroom, bacon, cheese to sliders or burgers and stuff like that. And so then after like a month of being a server, because of all that I learned being an expedite, people are just like, wow, you're just really good at upselling. And I'm just like, no, I just know all the things you guys didn't really know. So I feel like there's different points that you can learn who to impress and what they're actually looking for. Yeah, that's the same thing I learned in school.
I mean, if you got it, then implement it. But if you don't,
yeah, I understand. Like, not everybody necessarily has that strategic mindset with every job they walk into. Yeah. So
if you got that,
for me, if I'm coming into a job and I want to own that job and I want to make the most money, for instance, then I'm going to be strategic and figure out how am I going to make the most money, and I'm going to find my way to be the most efficient at it. Like, I'm not going to necessarily overextend myself in ways that aren't actually helping me. But yeah,
I will say I'm kind of in the middle of both of those.
Yeah.
I feel like you're both right. So this was actually, it reminded me of something that I had wanted to talk about a couple of weeks ago. And
for sure.
Got into the holidays and kind of got lost in the shuffle. I feel like communication is most important, not the most have, especially with our line of work. Because especially nonverbal communication, where you can work with someone and you don't have to know what they're thinking. Just you need to know like what their mannerisms are, what they at to know. All right, well, I know that they usually do this, this, and this. Might not do this. That can be
sure.
Take this guess, like already taken two, take the third one, or whatever. And that also came up with a coworker of mine recently. They are new to working at our bar, but also they've only been bartending about a year. They were serving before. They know what to do. They can handle their own, which is great. But for some reason, they came in with the mentality of prove myself. I just need to come in here and I need to rock it. Because they came in and they saw how the other bartenders, well, I'd say lowest tenured bartender as far as how long they've been bartending is 3 years. Majority of the other bartenders we've had over the half that I've been there, almost a decade. Everyone there has been doing it for about a decade.
Right.
If you've only been doing it for a year, you're not going to be able to do it.
Right.
Because you don't have all of those years. Like, all of our mechanisms they're just programmed in. Well, when I first was training with them, I told them, this is how I am, how I work, how I talk, how I think. feeling like I was communicating upfront way. And over time, I started noticing, started butting heads on little things. And I was like, why are we butting heads? So finally, I just pulled them aside, asked them a question, and they said, well, I feel that the way that you respond to me, talk to me off is this. My response was, all I said was, yeah. But to them, that yeah meant something different because their mind, they were, oh, well, I needed to find the person that I can impress, or I needed to find the person.
There's all this other context that's not being communicated.
They were adding a context that wasn't in my mind.
Right.
And also, I was thinking, because of the way he communicated, he said, and you just job.
Right.
Like, I was, I don't have some big joke that I'm setting up here. It's just that the way that I kept thinking about it was Tropic Thunder, which they are way too young. They haven't seen Tropic Thunder.
Just give me the baby gravy. Come
on. But like my favorite fucking line from Tropic Thunder, whatever.
Yes.
He's talking to Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
And he's talking to him about like, you're trying to act black. You're trying so hard to act black as an actor.
Australian.
He's like, you're Australian. Be Australian. And I was just like, I'm looking at them and I'm like, yo, you're not me.
Right.
Just be Australian. Like, just be you.
Right.
Like, you can do things I can't do.
Yeah.
You can walk behind the bar and everyone behind the bar is like, I need to talk to that. They have this light and this energy and this, that. Bro, I've been beaten down already.
Right.
They see me walk behind and bro, like, I need to give this motherfucker a minute.
Right.
Let him come talk to me when he's ready.
Yeah.
You already can do something that I can't do.
Right.
So don't worry about what I'm doing. Do what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking be Australian, bro. And be the best Australian you can be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that was all I wanted to say to them, but they're too young. They haven't gotten a reference.
You didn't see Tropic Thunder?
No, they were, I did the math. They were 8 when it came out.
Oh, no.
Just that old, man.
That's sad because I think everyone should see Tropic Thunder.
It's one of those movies.
The fact that they got away with all of the things that happened in that movie.
They got away with not black face, black skin.
Black skin and making light of the mentally disabled community.
You never go full mentally disabled.
Right. That's not what he said, though. That's not what he said. But we're not saying what he actually said.
But the thing about his character was not a parody, but it was a satire take on people that do that.
No, yes.
And it was brilliant.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that everything, all of the things that were in there was in earnest in making fun of the people that do the thing.
And they did it tastefully.
Yeah.
Tastefully.
The word is tasteful, but it was funny.
It was funny and it was palatable. So we were like, you know what? This was done well enough.
You understood where they were coming
all
from.
Those jelly beans, nobody was tasting anything. Just eat my jelly beans.
Oh man. But yes, that was just such a good movie. And I don't know how they got that movie through all of
it was 2008.
It was a different time.
We were able to get away with it back
then. Because people talk about, Steve Carell talks about how you could not make The Office today.
No.
Not especially the first season.
I've never watched it.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch it either, but like the few things I have seen.
There's an episode where he's trying to break down race relations by having everyone wear like you know how you like
I've seen that on TikTok where they're like, and they're describing, they're trying to tell them what they are, and they're trying to
and the way that he tries to describe everyone is he really is hitting all of the stereotypes in the funniest way, and then it just kind of comes to like, all right, well, if something is more funny than it is like offensive, then
it's like the first season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
So I'm not up on that. So
no, that first season of Always Sunny, oh,
it was really bad.
Shit!
Wait, was this before Danny DeVito was involved?
I think
it started online. No,
Always Sunny in Philadelphia premiered on FX in like 2005, and Danny DeVito was on maybe a couple episodes after.
Start online first.
Did it?
Yeah, that's how they got on FX. So they were already doing the show. FX picked him up.
I didn't know
And
that.
Danny DeVito saw it and was like,
Right.
I want to be a part of this.
Because he was on, I think this towards the end of the first season or maybe the second season he was
Right.
on.
I remember
I mean,
that story. Yeah.
It's a funny show, but that
Yeah.
first season, oh boy,
They hit a lot of notes. They hit a lot of notes.
Oh shit!
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
I know it's one of those things where if
It's a timepiece.
giving enough time,
It's a timepiece
I'll
for
watch
sure.
it at some
Yeah.
point. But yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, it's not for this.
Yeah, I
generation.
definitely see the entertainment value in it though.
No, it's
I'm not
entertaining as
knocking it.
fuck.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things
Yeah.
that there's so much content.
And one of the actors just got diagnosed with a like degenerative disease or
No
something
way.
like that. Yeah. Fuck, I feel so bad for not
Charlie
being,
Day?
not Charlie
I
Day.
was
The
about
other
to
one.
say,
That's the
I'll
only one I
stop this
think
of. The other
podcast
one.
right now.
The other one with the beard.
Oh,
The one that gained the weight and then lost the weight?
I think so.
got all buff.
Oh no.
That sucks, man.
He's got like he just got diagnosed with some disease. So, but they caught it early on, so maybe there's.
I hope so, man.
Yeah. So.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
That man has put his body through a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as a negative. It's just that's someone who just lived life.
Right.
I love that shit. And I hate to see someone who lives their life.
Not the tall, skinny one though.
No, the guy that got-
Charlie Day's a short one, right?
He's
Right.
a short
Okay, so
one.
The
the-
short one
the
with
one
like
in
the
between.
high
There's
pitched
a
voice.
regular one,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
there's
yeah,
the like in shape and fat as fuck,
Yeah.
now buff as fuck.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
he's the one who he's kind of been all
Yeah,
over
yeah,
the
him.
place.
Right.
Him, he's the one. But
Yeah.
Crazy.
yeah, so hopefully
Well, shout out to him, man. Like
Yeah.
To him,
I send him
hopefully.
positive energy. I
Oh, yeah.
hope he beats that shit. Oh,
But
Yeah.
speaking of like YouTube shit, I've showed you guys the video, right? About the lady that ordered the cocktail, right?
Oh yeah.
So to give the audience full context, there was a video I saw on Twitter. It's this girl at dinner, which
do me a favor though, because with TikTok you're able to like download the video.
yeah,
Okay, if you can send it to me,
yes,
I can like add a clip at in.
Yeah. we'll put it like right here
Nice. Over my
Yes.
face.
over his face or behind there on the.
That's a
TV.
hate crime.
I don't. Anyway, so it's that video,
I got haters. I'm cool
Right.
with it.
Nah, you ain't gonna.
and or
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
how you'll edit it. You'll probably just put it over. Anyways, doesn't matter. So I'm still gonna talk about it, even though you put it on there. She's sitting at dinner, which looks by the background and the ambiance. It's very low lighting, very fancy looking lighting. So it's definitely an upscale restaurant.
Yeah.
And the
So
way
glad
she's
we talked
dressed,
about
and the way she's dressed, she an upscale restaurant, right? And upscale, I mean like the steak probably costs $70-$80.
Yeah.
She orders a cocktail. She calls the waiter over and she's like, "Oh, can I?" Like, excuse me, can you ask like, can you take this and ask them like it's too much ice in here? And she pulls out the cube. It's a prism. For those that don't know what a prism is, it's a long rectangle. I'll show you guys. I'll give you a visual. And she's like, "Oh, it's," and she pulls.
Technically, that's not a prism, but
What?
a prism is more. It's actually a triangle in like a long cube form. It bends light in a way that you could get like a light in there, and then it will bend a rainbow out. It was a long, I believe, king cube, more like a which is like a long rectangle.
Oh, I was told they were called prisms.
I
that.
apologize.
That might I don't know. Both
It's
of you
a
sound
long
right.
rectangular cube that's in a
Yes.
Collins glass. A
Yes.
Collins glass is a very tall, skinny cylinder. Is that right?
Cylindrical,
Is
yes.
it cylindrical, Mr.
Cylindrical.
Technical over here?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Knock
It's a
yourself out.
tall cylinder glass that's skinny, and the cube that fits in there is about the same length, and it's skinny as well. So it occupies a lot of the space in there. When she pulls out the cube, the drink goes from like right here to down here. And she's like, "Oh, she's like, can I get another one? But can you put less ice and more drink?" That's what I heard from it. And I saw people in there saying like, "Oh, these upscale restaurants, they got to be stopped. This, then
Yeah.
the third, whatever." And I'm and I go in there, and I don't go in there to jump and defend upscale restaurants because sometimes a little overpriced. But
we never defend upscale.
it was more so the focus of the cocktail because people were saying like, "This is too fucking much. Like it's barely anything. This and that, right?" So what I said was 99% of the time you go to an upscale restaurant, you're gonna have a bar that serves craft cocktails. Agree?
Yes.
Yeah, more or less.
Yes.
And the ice cube that they have in that cocktail has a purpose because it everything done with craft cocktails, everything there's for a purpose. If you don't want that and you want more drink, just ask for a vodka soda. You'll get exactly what you want. That's fine. If you want more alcohol, then just ask for a 2-touch cocktail. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But the reason that there was that much liquid to that much ice is because it serves a purpose. Now, those cubes especially, they don't dilute the drink as much, and they keep it chilled because you could look, it was a clear cube.
So it's a king cube. It's a long king cube,
basically. And with those, they're
really
much
slow.
It was a black king cube.
They're a lot more pure, and they don't dilute and keep it cold, like I said. So what I also said was,
stay up, kings.
It's a BBC, a big black cube.
No, it was blacked.
It was a
blacked king cube. Check on Pornhub. Blacked. It's its own thing.
I'm sorry, you were saying?
I said the ice cube that is juice has a purpose, and I got some replies there. Someone said, yeah, the purpose of...
We tried to maintain seriousness, but go on. Yeah, no, go for it.
I love how he's fighting through it, man.
Yeah,
I'm trying, man.
Go for it.
So I got some replies. One of them said,
fight that BBC. Fight it as hard as you can.
Yikes. Yikes so much. Just like Adam 22's wife.
I was gonna say that, bro.
There we go.
I was just gonna say that.
Set that up. You set that up so well, and it's like we've gotta like.
Dwayne Wade with the alley-oop and just.
You know the fucked up thing is, I have no idea about this Adam 22 thing. I've been seeing reactions to it.
It's not much. I haven't seen the video. I just have heard the story. It's whatever.
We can go now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So when I said, I ended off saying the ice cube has a purpose, this and that, everything there has a purpose, I had a response that said, LOL, yeah, the purpose of stiffing the customer for profit, that ice should be half the size of the cup at most. And I'm not defending them. I'm just trying to educate people, which is why we do this. I said, it's not though. Prism and King cubes keep the drink chill while not diluting it. Craft cocktails are usually 3 to 4 ounces, and it looks like she took a sip of it already, so there's a little bit less. It would be the same amount in a coupe. Or any other martini glassware. It'd be the same exact amount.
Right.
And he was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, All right, so cool. I educated them, whatever. Somebody else said, I don't know, bro. I respect you and your crap, but that just looks nuts. I said, it's all about understanding where you're at. They're probably using premium spirits, and there's likely been some sort of infusion or prep for their cocktail. So there's a lot that goes into it. And if you take just regular fucking freezer ice, that's going to fuck up the entire... The profile of the drink.
Yeah.
It's gonna either dilute it too much,
it's not
gonna keep it cool enough.
Yeah.
The ingredients in there may react differently to the temperature. So there's everything in there has a purpose.
Right.
So again, I said the problem here is that if you pick something on the menu and start adjusting it with modifiers, most upscale restaurants won't do that because the meal is prepared and served that way by the chef for a reason. You get the fucking this kind of pasta and you're like, oh, can you take this out? This sounds like, no, then now you're just getting something different. If you want that many modifiers, stay home. Same thing goes for craft cocktails. If you start trying to do this and that, don't get that then, because clearly that's not something that's for you, and that's okay. Just ask for something else.
Right.
So, and I see a lot of comments, again, they're just ripping up, like, oh, these cocktails, this and that, but I will give you guys a visual. I'll let you go ahead. Your turn.
Well, I was going to say, just typically legally, we've all taken these tests and had to pass these tests. That the entire point of the test is to tell us that we cannot serve more than 3 ounces of liquor per round. Is that the same thing that you've pretty much?
It depends on the state.
On the state, well, yes.
Some states have the 4-4-44 or the 4-4-40 rule.
Okay, the 4-4-40 rule. So in California, I believe it's 3 ounces, which is pretty much what you're getting. No?
California is a 4 because as we've talked about before, I've been to islands with like 4.
Right.
If you're doing an electric long 2.5.
They do what?
An electric.
You heard what I said.
An electric Long Island,
which is kind of become the standard for Long Islands. I've noticed. Out here.
So we do, ours is 5.5 is 4.5 4.5s and 4 half ounces.
Yeah.
I personally, sorry guys, I do 4 3/4 ounces because most people, I think, if you're getting a Long Island, go ahead and knock yourself out.
It's very similar to me. I just make electric Long Islands because if I don't,
when you say electric, I'm sorry, I actually don't know this.
Tequila.
Right. So in some places,
it's Texas Long Island.
Right. So I was going to say, in some states, the tequila is standard, but
that's what I'm saying. I just got tired of
people asking you,
either asking or trying to make it seem like I didn't know what I was making.
Right.
So just like, you'll just get this 2.5,
right?
But you won't get a double. If you get a double, I take the tequila out.
Okay.
Because legally, I can't give you 5 ounces. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just getting a single, then I'm
it's crazy.
Do the tequila.
Oh, you want to do your thing? Yeah. So to give you guys a visual representation, right?
Thanks.
This, let's say this was the Collins, whatever, but it's not. So this would be the pour for an old fashioned, right? You see the cube is big. It's a king cube. Ours isn't as pure, so it's got impurities in there. If I take that out,
your pull-out game is weaker than mine.
So if I take that out, now you see it's dropped, right? That doesn't mean I'm giving you any less or you're getting any less. That just means that this ice in there is serving its purpose. That doesn't change anything. So that was the visual representation for those that may or may not have seen the video. So you take it out, now it looks like less, but if you want a double, just ask for a double or something else. I mean, that was the visual representation.
Representation.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it looked like. That's what she did. She took it out and it just
it sunk.
The level of the liquid dropped, but it never changed. Right. Like you still get the same amount of alcohol. It's 2 to 3 ounces, whatever, all the ingredients in there. Ice is serving the purpose. Our ice isn't as pure, so it looks like that. But I mean that. I don't know how many. I reported that, but that's.
I want to say a rocks glass is 10 ounces. The average non-rocks like Sidra glass is going to be about 12 ounces, but liquor wise, we're not allowed to serve legally over 4 ounces, and so we can't add more than that.
Okay, so I'm gonna start chiming in.
Chime on in, bud.
I'm gonna go ahead and chime in on. As I usually try to do, I had to advocate for both sides. Which side the conversation is on. With this particular one, I will say both sides are right. He tripping. He stay tripping. The reason why I say that I feel like both sides are right.
Yes.
Is that high-end establishments need to be fucking stopped. Yeah. And I will tell you why they need to be fucking stopped. Because they're making our jobs so much harder than they need to be. Because they're so busy sucking their own fucking dicks. I'm tired of this shit.
I thought you were going to say teat. He said dick.
Sucking their own dicks. Because that's the only way you can't see that your guests are not happy is if you're so busy doing this the entire time. You can't see your fucking guests. Why would you make a drink that needs to be served in a Collins glass when the ice takes up that much of the glass?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say that is because while we can talk all night about how this glass holds this many, this glass holds this many ounces. When you really think about cocktails, if it is a shot, depending on where you're at, it can be between 1 ounces or in some places 2 ounces, right?
Yes.
Just for a shot. A neat pour, rocks pour, 2 ounces. That's the standard. Correct. Right? So usually you're getting between 1 ounce and 2 ounces of spirit.
Mm-hmm.
What is the rest of your cocktail? Citrus or some other sweetener, another spirit, maybe like a cordial or something like that.
Yep.
But when you think about, which a lot of people don't, it blows my mind. You think about how much actual liquid goes into each cocktail. If it has no other additives, 1 ounce to 2 ounces, right?
Yeah.
But if it has all the other things, it's between 3 ounces and at most 5 ounces.
That is the that's like pushing
so if your rocks glass can hold 10 and your Collins glass can hold 12 to 14 and your pint glass can hold 16. Between 12 to 16.
Yeah.
What's the rest going to be filled with? fucking iced.
Yeah.
Which is why you get people come in, they're like, I want light ice, I want less ice, I want more mixer, I want more this, I want more that. Because they don't understand you're getting the same amount of liquid no matter what.
Liquor.
Liquid.
Okay.
Oh, I'm talking liquid.
Got you.
Because the cocktail has certain specs, right?
Right. And
So
that's what makes it a margarita. That's what makes it a Manhattan.
So I have to give you a certain amount. If I
Right.
give you too much lime juice, your margarita tastes like shit.
Yeah.
If I'm making a martini and the specs are off, it's gonna taste like shit.
Mhm.
But it still goes into a coupe, goes between 4 ounces.
Yep.
Coupe.
Mhm.
Head glasses, whatever. Barely holds
Or
2.5.
Nick and Norris.
Nick and Norris,
Those are the
yeah,
ones? Yeah.
What'd you call me?
exactly.
God damn it! I knew that was coming.
Walked right into it.
I knew that was fucking
But
coming.
I'm just saying, which is where we come in. There's no one telling people you're paying for this amount, no matter what.
Right.
We can't change what amount you choose what you. We can only choose how to present to you based off of want to have a modifier of regular glass, add more mixer, give me less ice. Those are the few things we can change. We can give you more mixer if you just want us to fill the glass of sugar, if that's what you want. But it's not on us that this cocktail was created this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm tired of us being the ones on the front line. He didn't ask, can I speak to the manager? And ask the manager, why did your bar manager create a cocktail that is 80% ice?
Yeah.
He said, can you go to the bartender, let them know I feel like I've been robbed?
Yeah.
I'm tired of it, which is why you see in the comment section, they're like, oh, they need to be stopped. Oh, they're trying to take our money.
Add more of
We're
this
not
and that.
trying to do shit.
Because none of it is coming to us.
So, like,
I don't give a
piggyback
fuck.
Nothing extra.
To piggyback a little bit, let's say she wanted that exact same cocktail but wanted more of it. Again, that's gonna change how it tastes. You're not having what you ordered on the menu. Now you have more of whatever the fuck it is just to fill it up with now regular ass like ice. Now you're gonna, and it may not taste good. And you're gonna be like, well, this tastes horrible now.
Or
no
they say,
shit.
or I can't taste the alcohol.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You made me add an extra ounce of mixer or sugar or whatever.
And a lot of cocktails
unless
aren't
it's
meant for you to taste
unless
the liquor.
it's spirit forward, like an old fashioned
Old-fashioned
style or
Manhattan.
martini.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to. A good cocktail, you will
Balance.
not taste alcohol. That's the
It's
whole.
not a barbecue.
That is the
It's
whole.
not a barbecue.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is the whole premise why cocktails and bartending became a thing, was to put things together so you don't taste the alcohol, because alcohol back then didn't taste that great. So
Right.
they added all this shit to make it palatable.
Right.
That's where the old fashioned comes in. Let's add some stuff so people can enjoy it and drink it, not just have to shoot it.
It's like ordering a steak and then you try to add modifiers because you say, I can't taste. Steak don't taste steaky. And
Right.
like, I need it to taste more like steak. What do you want
Can
me
you
to
just
do
go ahead and
to-
drown this in barbecue sauce,
Yeah.
please?
Yo, man.
Yeah,
Like,
like-
do you want ribs? No. I want the ribeye, but just put like
Right.
just take the bottle of barbecue sauce and just put it on there.
And then
Right.
they take a bite and they're like, all I taste is barbecue sauce. Bitch, you asked for
That's
extra
what
barbecue
you asked
sauce.
for.
You
Yes.
asked me for that. I gave it to you the way that the person who created it said that this is how we're supposed to give it to you
Right.
to get the maximum amount of flavor
Right.
for what you're paying.
Yeah.
Once you modify it, once you change it, that's on you, but
Yeah,
And
if it
that's-
doesn't taste good, that's your fault.
it's like taking the training wheels off and you don't know how to ride a bike, and then you bust your ass and you're like, your fault for taking the
Well,
training
the
wheels
bike is broken.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
And that's the other thing, is that most of these drinks, if we're talking about classic drinks, have been around for 50 plus years.
Yeah.
And so people have spent many years
Since
perfecting that.
Before
Or
prohibition.
if we're in these, specifically high-end restaurants, there's a bar manager that has spent countless hours perfecting it. They've made this drink 50 times to try to get it just to that perfect balance.
Yeah.
And now you're asking them to change that, which that is your right, I guess, as a guest.
Mhm.
But we do not, as a restaurant at that point, support whatever the outcome of this drink is going to be.
Right.
You have paid for this drink to be modified, and you need to sit with it, live with it, and move forward in your life.
And to piggyback on what you said, while they may be doing all this prep, this and that, maybe doing the most, maybe gimmicky, they made that with this flavor in mind to give this effect, and that's what they want to do, and that's why it's presented that way. I might not agree with that. I probably won't. Like, you want me to fucking crush celery and then squeeze the fucking water out of it?
Man.
That's fucking stupid, but you know, it's gonna create this flavor. All right, whatever.
Got celery
Cool.
bitters.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But you want us to fresh squeeze
know,
it? All right,
sounds
I fucking
awful.
guess.
That sounds awful.
But to also advocate for the drink that was made.
Sure.
As you said, like, that was made a specific way for a reason. They gave you a drink in a Collins glass, give you the mental thought of, okay, this drink is last this based on the other food that I'm eating. Especially if you ask the server, well, what would you pair with this eating? And they're like, oh, I would suggest this cocktail.
Right.
Guess what? They're expecting for you to have this cocktail for this amount of time and savor every sip of the cocktail while enjoying your meal.
Right.
You're supposed to also be talking to the boss.
You're not supposed to fucking chug that shit in one sitting. That's not.
And if we give you nothing but crushed ice or a bunch of rocks cubes in a Collins glass, by the time you get to the bottom of that Collins glass, you're like, oh, this tastes like water. It tastes like shit now.
Yeah.
They gave you that drink in a way to where the first sip and the last sip are as close as possible.
Yeah.
Because
So
those
know what you order, which is what you said. Know what you're ordering and know
Exactly.
where you are.
because those fucking cubes, they don't melt that fast.
No.
Your drink is not gonna taste like water. I promise you. You can be into dinner for an hour and it'll dilute it maybe just a little bit, but not enough for you to notice that there's water.
Honestly,
at the
I've
bottom of
never
your
seen
glass.
a king cube that big, the blackened cube. So that drink is meant to last for a very fucking long time. Yeah.
Because
Especially in
the
that
ice is at a purity where it just there's no what's
Quick dilution.
I don't know what the fuck I was looking for, but anyways, it's just with the way those because
it takes out a lot of the impurities of the ice.
because there are
Oh, you're talking about the
companies
clear.
Yeah.
there
I
are
got
companies
you.
that manufacture the ice to make it crystal fucking clear.
Yeah.
For that reason, it lasts longer. This
That's
And you're
true.
not tasting anything from the water. You're getting the cleanest form of water that you can.
yeah,
That slightly,
it's not Los Angeles ice.
slightly dilutes your drink over time.
Mm-hmm.
They thought about all of that before they served it to you. Just throw it back in their face and be like, you didn't give me what I paid for.
I didn't get enough.
If it had a high-end spirit, which I'm sure it did.
It did.
That one probably
It
did.
Where you were.
absolutely did because look at the
You
fucking
paid
place.
for the spirit.
Right.
And a lot of people don't understand that when they go
That's
to
the
a
first
place,
thing you're paying for.
You're paying for the spirit.
The spirit
if
first.
you order Grey Goose, we got to pay Grey Goose.
Yeah.
And then we get a little bit off, which has to pay for the lights, the labor, pay for
Right.
the TVs or whatever, like all these other expenditures that go in, but Grey Goose still has to get paid. And what a lot of people don't realize is Grey Goose gets their money first.
First in, first out.
Bars are prepaid, like Boost Mobile. We pay for the liquor, then we try to sell it to you, and then we take the profit off of that, pay for the labor and pay for everything else. And we buy more liquor and we do it over again. No, we're not trying to get anything. I can't speak for the owners of the establishment, but we're gonna get paid the same regardless unless you tip us more. That's on you. But just don't hold it against us. Like, on our fucking.
But yeah, I do agree that
really
some of these
are.
restaurants gotta be like, damn, like that's a little bit like again, I'm on the same side where it's like both sides.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little excessive. That's a little much. That's a little less for what you're paying for. Yeah, but again, just know where you're at.
Yeah.
Know where the fuck you are at. If you are at a place that has dim lighting, very fancy lightings, and you're dressed like that, and the steak is X amount of dollars, you're gonna pay roughly $25 or more drink.
Yeah.
Right.
Roughly.
And that drink's gonna have some ice on it.
It is, and it's
Yeah.
going to be cured because it's just supposed to be presented that way. Same thing as when your plates come out, they're presented that way to look nice. Especially in Los Angeles, it's supposed to be Instagrammable. They want you to take pictures of it.
Everything
They
is about
want.
everything.
Thank you for saying it
Instagrammable.
that way, because you actually just made me think of something that we haven't touched on. The distributors charge everyone the same amount.
Yeah.
Or whatever. The price is the price. So if you are going to a high-end establishment, they still have to pay the same base amount for that spirit that everyone else would have to pay. But now you are also paying extra for that ambiance. extra for every little thing that makes it Instagrammable, that makes that post that you're posting make everyone else be like, oh, there. That costs the establishment money for you to be able to have that Instagrammable moment.
Create that moment.
That's what you're paying for.
The place that I first worked at, we had a old fashioned, which was delicious. Man, probably my favorite drink on the menu. But we put it in this little glass box and out the box, and we would present it.
Were you at Craft by Fire?
No, it's the place you went to for your birthday.
Oh, okay, bet.
But we would smoke out the box, present it, and then open it, and all the smoke comes out. And the owner there wants people to take a video of that. So we bring it out and be like, all right, you ready? Boom, open it, and then air it out or whatever. So it's like you said, it's paying for the spirit and then doing all this extra shit to pay for it. And it was on Sunset. So that's a premium location, and you got to do shit. Like, it's a high-end restaurant, and we're doing all this extra shit. The cocktail was really good. Not worth $25, but with all the extra shit.
Because there's this spot I went to, and they mostly like deal with like ribs and brisket and all that type of stuff. But some of their drinks are crazy. They have a drink that's in a mini bathtub, and it's just like some blue, very Craft by something, Craft by Fire, Craft by something. Like this rib place.
Is there a little ducky in it?
There's a little ducky in it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but let me tell you, the drink is actually really fucking random, and like it's not a great drink itself. And 9 times out of 10, people spill the drink because you're trying to maneuver the bathtub around your table, and you're trying to figure out how to actually drink it and all that type of stuff.
Fucking gimmick.
But that's all about the presentation, and now I can Instagram it. They had another drink. Like Harry Potter, they're presented in a box that comes with like the sorting hat on top, and the sorting hat talks to you, and you lift it up, and it's like a caramel espresso martini, and it's really not that great of a drink necessarily, but it's all about that presentation and you being able to Instagram it.
Yeah,
but you pay a premium for that actual experience.
It's a show you're paying for a show. Yeah, just it's knowing where you're at.
Yeah,
knowing you're at, and again, if your thing is like, I need more drink, order a 2-touch cocktail. There's nothing wrong with doing that in an upscale restaurant. Nobody's gonna fucking.
Yo, if you want a place to not charge you as much, just stop fucking. I'm just kind of over it.
Like we're trying to talk around it, but
like you're gonna go to a place that costs a lot of money and then be like, why does it cost so much? You keep fucking going.
Fucking here.
Yeah.
You want their prices to lower? Stop going.
Yeah.
Or just go somewhere else, dude.
Yeah.
Just
supply
it's
and
not
demand.
our fucking problem that you chose to go to that place, man. We just work there.
Yeah.
Like, we just work there.
I'm just working here. I can't change anything.
This is how I pay my bills, bruh. Like it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
but on that, I also want to speak to people just remixing shit in general. Like when people go to these restaurants and they see, oh, I see you have an herb crushed salmon, you have a miso soy glazed Chilean sea bass, and you have a blackened chicken. I'd like that blackened. I want that chicken to be blackened, but can you add the herbs from the salmon on there? And then can you add the dashi broth that comes with that Chilean sea bass with that? And like, we created a menu.
I was offended 5 seconds into that, and I tuned it all out. There were so many words. I was like, no.
Order all 3 dishes, and then you can combine it if you
do
want.
it yourself. But
do it yourself.
But people, you know that when people do that, they see you have this on this menu with this, and that, and I'm just gonna create my own thing. Like, can you do that? And no.
All right, then go to OCB or Golden Corral.
Get the menu items, get the recipe, and make it. Get the recipe and make it. And they do that. And when people do that with drinks,
OCB is Old Country Buffet. For those that don't know.
Ooh, Old Country Buffet. Where were you at where they had that?
Midwest. Back in Chicago.
It was just an East Coast thing.
Nah, Chicago. We had some Old Country Buffet.
Old Country Buffet.
Yeah.
Is the spot. Yeah.
They don't have them anymore. At least they're not around as much.
I mean, buffets are disgusting. I enjoyed them when I was a kid, but buffets are gross.
I am where I am on buffets, and
I haven't gone to one in a while.
Suggest to go to one.
No,
but if
I'm by myself,
if I'm there, I'm there, and I'm going.
Someone else has got to be the person to suggest me to go.
Yeah.
I will not willingly just be like, I'm gonna go to a buffet today. Like, it's got to be someone else's idea. Like, yo, you want to go to a buffet? Yes.
If someone told me to go to Old Country Buffet with them, I will go. However, the last few times I went to Shoney's, or what was another one? There's another buffet I went to, and the process of seeing people just, they're just breathing over all of the food, and it just kind of,
I don't know, man. The buffets in Vegas, that's a lifesaver.
oh, that's different.
that's
All right. That's
different,
different.
Yeah, that's the porn stars of buffets. Every buffet wants to look like they do in Vegas, bro, but it can't look like that. I'm sorry.
Vegas buffets.
Vegas buffets are different. They're elite. They are not to be trifled with. I will never say no to a Vegas buffet.
Yeah.
However, in the middle of nowhere, like those type of buffets,
in the middle of somewhere, I don't want to fucking go. Like, no.
People just don't know how to act around buffets.
I'll go to one in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, they got their protocols. They got the way of doing it.
I kind of do too right now.
I want to go to Vegas to go to a buffet.
Yeah, where's the nearest Golden Corral?
Honestly, one of my homies.
Golden Corral, that's what I was thinking about. I went to a Golden Corral and I just looked around and just saw I think maybe it was Florida. So it was Florida, and people were just like breathing all over the food.
Well, first of all, it's Florida.
I was like at Disney World. I don't know, man.
Nah, it's Florida.
It's Florida.
It was Florida.
It's Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And I just was disgusted.
I just found out today that weed's not legal.
Of course it's not. You know how many
But
issues they have? Bro, they have so many things.
Everything else is, but weed is not.
I mean, you can get bath salts, but you can't get weed. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, but
yeah,
this whole campaign of Make America Florida, for what?
How many stories do you hear that start with Florida man just did?
Oh, do you know the Florida man birthday game?
Yeah.
So you take your date of birth, like Florida man, and then your date of birth.
I'm intrigued.
And then you look on what happened with Florida man on the day you were born. I don't know if it's the year, but it's the day you were born. And mine is Florida man assaults girlfriend with a cheeseburger.
Assaulted with a cheeseburger. That's intriguing. I want to know. I want to know how that.
Mine is. Wait, no, I don't need to make sure this is the actual.
Wait, what's your birthday?
Mine's May 15. Do you need the year?
Let me see.
Oh no, that.
I mean, I'm so interested. Also, I'm interested in your drink. What did you make there?
I used the fucking that bottle and then threw.
Is that smeared off?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Threw some of the.
All right.
Raspberry fucking pour, or whatever it is.
Oh, champort. Port?
No, not champort.
Okay.
Florida men weren't even doing shit.
What year were you born?
My year.
Might have something shit for night. I was like, oh, you just do your birthday, not your year. Oh, that's not as fun. I want to know what they were doing in the year I was born.
That's crazy.
Oh, it'll.
Anyway, while we're figuring this out, let's run interference, because this is an ongoing podcast. People are watching this.
Florida man hit dad in the face with pizza after learning he helped deliver him.
Yeah, I read that one, and it was he delivered him in 1985, so it's not even the right year.
Oh, oof!
I had already moved past that.
Wow, there's no Florida man for me.
No.
All right.
Well, mine is.
Florida men weren't doing shit when we were around.
Mine was slapped girlfriend with a cheeseburger.
I guarantee you,
maybe
Florida
not just
men
a year, but maybe just a day.
I guarantee you, Florida men were Florida menning way before whenever this started.
Talking about Florida menning.
What a segue. Go on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm out. So I have to.
Nobody follows the rules anymore.
No, I would like to follow the rule. I'm out. I don't know what to say.
He's not out.
You won't.
Oh no, he's gonna pour me. No, I'm good. Yeah.
Who doesn't watch it? Yeah. Tell me that off camera. Why are you muting your microphone to tell me that you're gonna? Well, it just sounds weird to everyone else. I'm just talking to myself. Like, what the fuck?
I'm just watching it play out in real time.
I don't even remember. I just thought that was just our thing. But I've been wondering why he's been rallying against that lately.
Nothing. Never mind.
Okay,
Moving
fine,
on.
whatever.
Well, we're saying the
Speaking
S
of
word.
Florida minning,
Cool.
I don't want to say this will be our last topic, but it's been something that we have put
Something somebody says
on-
before it's the last topic.
It's been something that we've tried to add for a few. We've never gotten around to it.
Okay.
It's bugging me, but kind of ties in to this here as well. Well, no.
That's also funny as shit.
Oh, you hadn't read it yet?
No, I read it, but I want to read it for the people.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oof.
In parentheses, first day as a bartender. The customer says, I'll have a dry. Sorry. Rewind, scratch, let's start over. In parentheses, first day as a bartender. Customer, I'll have a martini. Dry. Me. Staring at the liquid ingredients. I don't know how to tell you this. That's funny as shit.
It's funny, but then
Okay, school
It's-
teacher, what are those? Because they're not parentheses. I don't want
Brackets.
them to come. Okay, thank you.
brackets.
I was
yes.
gonna say brackets, but I didn't
That's-
want to sound dumb after
brackets.
trying to correct
That's
them. on
funny
parentheses.
because I remember like our first or second episode we talked about martinis or something
Yeah,
like that.
I
And a
remember
friend had
that.
messaged me. He's like, what do you mean a dry martini? I thought our martinis were wet. So that's even funny as shit.
He's like,
So
every
one
martini
time
I've been with is
That was
wet
my
as
homie
fuck.
Danny, man. Shout out to Danny. I appreciate you, bro.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
we've
wow.
come full circle on that one.
Damn,
I
that was
like
like
that.
50 some episodes ago.
Crazy
Yeah.
Christo.
Because he's like, I don't know what he's like, what's a dry martini? I thought they were all wet.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been that bartender. The first time I heard it, I was like,
Bro,
"The fuck do you mean dry?
Yeah.
I ain't got no dehydrated
These shits is
martini.
wet.
Like,
Which one? A gaseous martini? Like, what are we talking about? It's
You
either solid,
want the
liquid, or
essence
gas.
of a martini?
Like, what are we talking
You
about?
want me
Yeah.
to make one and just like
Here's like
waft it in front of you?
here's a glass. Just pretend there's liquid in there.
Oh my
Here's
gosh.
That shit.
It took me probably a year of asking every time, like, wait, like dry is the one with vermouth, and like which one is dirty? Like it took
Yeah.
me probably a year.
Yeah.
Well, I also was working at a gastro pub, so I wasn't getting martinis that often.
The word gastropub, I know
Yes.
what it means,
Huh?
but it's funny as hell.
Yes.
Because when I think of gastropub, I
Yes.
think of like a hole in the wall place.
It
Like, that's
can
what
be.
comes to my mind.
So
Where like the
Same.
food is not that great
no,
A lot of sausage.
and may like
a little bit.
yeah
Mm.
and may give you stomach problems. And the word gastro, you know,
Gastro is
means-
stomach,
yeah.
and so it refers
So, like,
to the food.
Yeah,
And
so you think of
pub
gastro
is
pub,
like a
it's
place
like,
with
oh,
drinks.
they call it a gastro pub because the food's gonna make you shit.
So my understanding is it was a trend.
That's how I felt.
a trend. This place became a gastro pub. It was a New Orleans based restaurant until about 2013, 14 when I started working there. And my understanding is, there's just trends that happen with restaurants, with bars, etc. So I
Like,
believe gastro pubs became a trend. Gastro pubs are pubs, so they're not like your fine dining craft cocktail bars. They're basically have a lot of beers. So this one had 36 taps, but the idea is that there's elevated.
I got it.
There's the idea is that that was a
an
pretty good
accident.
shot.
that was an
That
accident.
There's the idea is that there's elevated food, and so it's not just pub food where you're talking about cheese curds and peanuts and almonds.
Yo, there's nothing wrong with cheese curds though.
There's nothing wrong with it, but you could do better. And
Again,
You never had Culver's?
Culver's,
Culver's?
I never had cheese curds in my
Culver's.
life.
Oh, you don't like Culver's? Sorry, I don't mean to step on. Go
No,
ahead.
you're good. I've never had cheese curds, so respect the
Okay.
cheese curds out there in
Yeah,
the world. But the idea is that you can go to a place that has 36 taps, so I can get involved with craft beer and a couple craft cocktails, but I can also enjoy decent food, not amazing fine dining food, not like counter food, counter the burger place, but decent food. So gastropubs became a thing, I want to say in the mid 2010s. This one became a gastropub in 2013, 2014. And that's where I started serving and then became a bartender, etc. And that's also the place that made me learn beers. Cause I never drank beer.
yes.
I still don't really drink
Is
beer
that-
that much.
is that where you
I
learn?
do, but I don't know it.
Is
Yeah.
that where you learn like the dry martini shit, or
Yes. So
Okay.
that place again, it has. I'm going back to full circle moment.
I was trying to bring it back
No,
before.
we didn't. No, yeah, that's where I started. So basically, this place had 36 taps of beers. So people come in there to experiment with all the different craft cocktails we have. So it wasn't that often that I had someone ordering a dry martini, a dirty martini, and all that. So it took me a while of hearing it over and over before I actually registered off the top of my head what martini versus a dirty martini, a regular martini.
What? Correct me if I'm wrong, but
We will.
like the original recipe for martini is gin, right?
Don't know off the top of my head to where I can yes
It's
or no
not vodka.
definitively. I
Yeah,
will say, as far as I know, gin is vodka. Was
that makes sense to me.
now the reason why I wanted to talk about this, talking
Yes.
about full circle,
Yes.
is so yesterday I had this guy come in, very high strung. He wearing all black, tatted up or whatever. Oh, recognize it. Service industry, you know what I mean? Like just the vibe he was giving me.
Yeah.
Like, can I get a martini? Yeah, sure. Just a regular martini. Like, okay,
All right.
yeah. What kind? Like, I want a martini,
We heard that part.
and
Got that.
I don't
Mhm.
I don't want any vermouth. And I was like, okay.
That's not regular, but we'll go with it. We'll roll with it.
And I
Yeah.
was like, all right, cool. But still, what kind? Vodka, gin, lemon drop? What do you want me to make you?
Right.
He's like, oh, I just want a classic martini. I was like,
Okay,
oh,
bro.
cool. So now we're back to classic martini. Tell me vodka or gin. Like, well, of course, gin. And I was sure. In your mind, of course, gin.
Yes.
That's fine.
Cool.
And I was like, but you said no vermouth. And he's like, yeah, but I want it classic. And I was like, do you want it with vermouth? He's like, yeah. So I was like, so you want it with dry vermouth? He's like, no, I don't want vermouth. And I was like, but if it's a classic martini, it has to have dry vermouth. That's what makes it classic martini. Like, no, dry vermouth is when you do a vermouth rinse. And I was like, no, sir, that is an extra dry
Right.
martini,
Yeah.
or just with a vermouth rinse.
You say
You can
that.
just say vermouth rinse.
Right.
Extra dry is like a quarter,
Mm.
which is in my 10 years, that's what I've heard as the standard. Extra dry is a quarter. If you're doing a dry martini,
Yeah.
it's more like a half an ounce, 3/4. Classic martini, ounce of dry vermouth.
Oh.
But on the West Coast, especially in California,
Yeah.
they do not like dry vermouth out here.
No.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know if it insulted someone's parents,
No, it
but
did.
they do not like dry vermouth out here.
I have a
Which
follow-up, but
brings
go
us
on.
back to the whole thing of like cocktails being regional.
Yeah.
I understand what the classic might be here and here, but I also know what the classic is. This region. You here now. It ain't where you from, is where you at, Playboy.
Yeah.
And he was just talking to me like I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. And I kept correcting him in the sense of like, I know what I'm talking about. I just want to know what you're ordering. So I know what to
you're
make
talking
for
about.
you.
That's the thing.
Just tell me what to make for you,
It
because
doesn't
you're
even
trying to correct
matter.
me, but
Yeah.
you're contradicting yourself.
It doesn't even matter what I think or what you think. I just want to make what you want. I just want to make what you want. And so if we can just get
Yeah.
on the same page about that
This
quicker.
isn't a pissing contest
Yeah.
of who knows more about bartending.
It's-
Just tell me what you
tell me
want,
what
and
you
I will make you what you
want.
want. That is my job. That is why I'm here.
Yeah,
Well, I don't want to make this difficult. I'm not here
Yeah.
to
absolutely.
fucking dick waving contest of who knows more.
Yeah.
Tell me what you want.
Yeah.
How you want it. I will prepare it that way. I am here to do the fucking job I was paid to do, which is to do what you want me to make you.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Crazy.
Tell me what you want.
Stop being so fucking vague.
It's not that simple. Tell me what you want. It's not that simple. Yes, it
No,
is.
No, it is.
Tell me what you want.
Yeah.
That's
And I will fucking make it for
And
you,
we can
my
have this
guy.
whole discussion after you have what you want, if you want to. But honestly, I just want you to have what you came here for.
Yeah.
I really do.
Let me get the difficult part out of the way.
Yeah.
And then we can compare notes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? About like,
Maybe
what's
I might
this and
learn
this.
something.
Yeah. I'm
Exactly.
down for that. But I want to get
Exactly.
your drink in front of you as soon as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the best part was, didn't tip.
Okay. All right.
Didn't tip.
Okay. Well,
So when I was telling the story to my coworkers about the guy, because I was standing at the front because our security guard was like, yo, I got to go to the restroom. Shout out to David. I ain't going to say anything else. They asked me to watch the door.
Okay.
Yo, watch the door. And I was like, bet, I got you. So watching the door. I had to deal with so much shit that I haven't had a chance to tell him about yet. So the next time I see him, I gotta tell him about the shit I had to deal with.
Just in like the 30 seconds while
he was gone not that long, but so much happened. I was like, bro, shout out to security.
Like, y'all deal with all this.
This motherfucker barely disappeared, and I was just like, yo, can someone help? Like, this woman started telling me her life story while ending it by saying, hot dog. We don't sell food. There's a hot dog stand right outside. She's like, I don't want to go. Like,
okay,
you must not want a hot dog. So why are you here?
What do you want?
Anyway, this motherfucker walks out and then gives me like the fist bump of like, hey man, thank you. And I was like, all right, cool, thank you. So I went back to the bar. I was like, let me see his book. So when I'm telling
my fist bump back,
I wanted to, but instead I insulted him. Now I'm gonna do it on the internet.
Hey now.
So when my coworker, actually David was asking about him,
fist bump,
which I've heard Nori did.
Yes, I was going to mention it, but I was going to let you guys finish. But
that's a real motherfucker right there. Like,
dope.
He's like, you?
No.
But when I was telling David, I wasn't telling David. I was telling the DJ about it, and he was like, "Yo, what do he look like?" And I was like, "He looked like a Shutterstock stock photo of a bartender." Like, if someone was like, "Yo, can you give me a photo of a bartender?" It was just like, it was Shutterstock.
Yeah,
it just looked cliche, but did not feel any actual. Because if he did, he would have came over with a lot more fun.
Yeah,
especially at a cocktail bar.
Right.
We are a cocktail. If you don't agree with how we make our cocktails, which is what I told him, I was like, hey, regional and here, we don't automatically put the vermouth. Majority of our guests do not want.
Not more than a half ounce. Half ounce most.
They don't want it.
Yeah.
At our bar.
Right.
And that's why I was like, I don't want to offend you by giving you the wrong thing, especially when you ask for no vermouth and then you ask for vermouth.
Right.
Which one do you want?
Right.
Which also leads me to this motherfucker here. A rocks pour does not mean what you think it means. If you need to educate yourself, or if you need to be educated by here or another bartender, a rocks pour, if you say, let me get this on the rocks as a rocks pour. Now, the majority of bar managers, GMs, owners, to them, that is an upsell. On the rocks is an upsell because you're automatically giving them a half ounce.
Oh.
So then when you hit the button for rocks or neat, it's because you're accounting for that in the inventory that you're giving them that. I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, but a lot of times when someone will order a neat rocks pour, look at it in the rock glass and say, enough. Is why the standard 2 ounce, which isn't that much,
right?
But especially over the rocks, it does look more.
Oh, it does look more. Oh,
which is why we're charging you, because we're giving you more alcohol. Yeah. We actually made it strong for you because that's what you asked for.
Right.
So if you don't want to pay for a rocks pour or a neat pour, just do it this motherfucker. Like, yeah, I said it like jokingly, making fun of him, but that was mostly because he had the broke motherfucking mentality.
Yeah.
He wasn't the one paying the tab. And then he said to me, he's like, let me get it on the rocks. And I was like, okay, cool, got it. And he was like, wait. Charge more for a rocks pour? And I was like, yeah. He's like, give me the. All right.
Cool.
You needed to save your boy that $2 to $3.
Yeah. But I honestly did not know that, because in the restaurants that I've worked at so far, they just do the same ounce and a half pour, and then they put a bunch of ice in there. And what you're saying makes more sense. I don't know why we don't give more and or charge more.
Because some places will run into the guest complaint. That's why your place.
No, but they should complain about it because we will have a rocks glass, and the way that we were originally trained is that we will still do the ounce and a half, but they specifically want us to have the ice to the top of the glass, which I'm just like, well, they can't even get to the liquid at that point if we're talking about an ounce and a half, but they trained us to do that if we're doing something on the rocks. If it's in a rocks glass. Now, a lot of times we don't have our rocks glass available, so we have to use slightly bigger glass, and that's a whole other thing. But if I was doing 2 ounces for a rocks pour, then it would make more sense why I would fill it up with ice. But we don't do that.
But
so,
a lot of that goes to the education of the guests as well as establishments. For if you're going to have these protocols, then make that one of the things that your workers, your employees, whatever it is you want to call them, or whatever,
partners,
whatever it is. Make sure that they have their script already like mentally written out of, okay, want a rocks pour? You want an actual rocks pour because that will be an upcharge of $2, but you can get a half an ounce more, or you just ask.
Right.
That does feel like it's a little bit extra.
Yeah.
But if you're making the guests feel more comfortable with what they're going to pay,
yeah,
the majority of the time, guests have a problem with what they're paying, real guests, because they see unexpected.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was paying for that.
Right.
I remember on the internet like a year or two ago, this actress, restaurant actress, doesn't even matter. But it was one of those things that was online where someone posted a photo. Whatever spirit on rocks thing had like a $2 charge.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
You're charging me for ice, and it's like, no, not charging for ice, charging for the extra alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that the internet reacted was like, charge for extra, or they charge for ice, or they charge for this, and it's like, no.
Mm-mm.
So maybe that should be something that managers and M's and whoever, you need to start making sure that your people know what a rocks pour is based on your establishment, what your rules are, so that they can alleviate the guests as far as like alleviate the tension with them where they're not seeing a charge that they didn't ask for or didn't know they were asking for. Sometimes people just don't know. I just had it happen last week where someone was like, can I get a tequila pineapple? 2 tequila pineapples. Like, okay. And then when I went to put it in front of them, they were like, oh, no, I wanted tequila with pineapple on the side. And I'm like, say that.
That's a different order. That's a different order.
And earlier that night, I had someone do the same thing. They were like, let me get a Hennessy and Coke. And I was like, okay. So I just did a Hennessy and Coke. They were like, oh, no, I wanted Hennessy. Oh, no, they said, let me get a Hennessy on the rocks with Coke. So that's what I made, though. I made them a Hennessy on the rocks with Coke. They were like, what is this? I was like, it's a Hennessy on the rocks, Coke. And they were like, no, I just wanted a Hennessy and Coke. I was like, then so just say that.
It's a Hennessy Coke.
That shit happened to me.
I said to her, I was like, if you say on the rocks is on the rocks with the Coke on the side, which guess what? Just because that's not what you order, I get people ordering that. So I have to anticipate what the guest is asking for.
Right.
I can't read your fucking mind.
And 9 times out of 10, if I'm confused, I'm going to go with the easier thing to fix, which is going to be that. I can fix that a lot easier than the Henny pineapple. And now I got to remake it.
Drink it.
Yeah. I got to drink it and remake it. You
made me drink that.
You made me drink those Henny pineapples.
Same shit happened to me. I got with this back and forth with this woman. She asked for a Henny and Coke. So I made the Henny and Coke. She's like, no, I wanted the Coke on the side. I'm like, why didn't you say that?
Yeah. Ask for a Coke back or sidecar Coke or anything. But
were you bartending much when there was that rush of flavored vodkas like 7-8 years ago?
Kind of. I was, but I was in West LA, so it wasn't as many of the crowd that was requesting flavored
like
vodkas.
The Deep Eddies and Sky and Pinnacle and all that. Like
I feel like it started with Ciroc and then it just went
everybody
crazy.
Else wanted to do it.
Ciroc is still going crazy. Well, Diddy just got kicked out of Ciroc
We're going to talk about that next week because I have it in here, but you had already put the list together. So I was like, we'll wait a week.
Okay, cool.
It's on the thing.
I actually don't know too much about it.
Oh, I do. And I want to go in.
Oh, bet. I want to hear about it.
And then it gives me another week to actually research it more.
Cool.
Are we wrapping up?
We're about to right now.
Yeah.
But there was a place we worked at. This is way back in Phoenix. Because there was this rash of all of these flavored vodkas. There was an entire section of our bar that was vodka.
Gross. So gross.
One of the things that used to infuriate me during club night, where it's loud and the music going and everything's just going, and be like, "Can I get a pineapple vodka?" And I'm like, "But we have like 4 pineapple vodkas. Like, so you want a pineapple vodka or a vodka pineapple?"
No way.
Pineapple vodka. I would just pour them a pineapple flavored vodka, and they're like, "What's this?" I'm like, "That's a pineapple vodka." And they're like, "No, I wanted vodka with pineapple." I'm like, "I literally asked you if you wanted vodka and pineapple, because that's different. This is a pineapple vodka. I asked you more than once, and you said you wanted this."
Yeah, no, I did not have to work through that. That's
right
awful.
before we end.
Yeah,
let's kind of touch on that because we're making such a big deal out about this. It's like pronouncing something or like, you know, putting an A before you use a vowel. Like, or an, or whatever
specific language.
If you say
there.
Yeah, it's all about the context. If you say vodka pineapple or Coke and rum, or rum and Coke, whatever the fuck it is, that means I want, this is my base spirit, this is the mixer. If you say I want fucking
rum with a Coke back.
Yeah, or I want coconut rum, we're gonna pour you just Malibu.
Right.
Or if that's a bad example, but you get what I'm saying. Or like, if you want a pineapple vodka or a blueberry vodka, it's like, all right, well, here's your shot of
pour you a blueberry vodka.
99 blueberry vodka.
I also think a lot of times people are very intimidated when they come up to order, and I know a lot of times where we can go off on things. We don't want you to feel more intimidated. We want you to feel comfortable. We're also just trying to let you know that there's an easy way for you to order, and we can get the hard part or the easy part out of the way, and then just talk to you and be more personable or whatever. But if you're complicating the order, you're fucking up our mental, which makes it harder for us to give you the service that actually we're coming for. Which if you're coming up and you're like, "Let me get a gin and tonic Hendrix," you can just say, "Can I get a Hendrix?" You can just say, "Can I get a Tito's?" And so you don't have to be like, "Let me get a vodka and pineapple Tito's."
Yeah.
Because you're going to get Tito's. Well vodka, pineapple, and Tito's on top.
Maybe.
But I think, again, before we end, I think there's just this weird stigma or whatever where like people have to know what they want to drink or have to have this and this in order that creates that intimidation factor where it's like, I need to say it like this, or this is what I've been told how to say it. It's like, no, we are here for you. You don't need to know everything. Just tell us what you want, and we will guide you through it. We are your guides through this intoxicated journey. We want you to have fun. We want you. You don't need to feel intimidated.
We're open
because
to
when
a conversation.
when I was 21 and went to the bars, it's like, dude, I had that intimidation where like I need to come and order, like come correct. You better have it, know this and that. You better know everything about drinking. And I don't know if it's still a big stigma now for 21, 22-year-olds, but just ask us.
Yeah.
We're here for you. That's why we're here. We're here to make your drinks. We're here to answer your questions about this and that. And we want you to know. That way the next bartender you go to, you don't give them a fucking hard time.
Right. And if we make fun of you, just laugh with it.
Yeah.
Like, we're not making fun of you to try to embarrass you.
You're in on the joke.
All right, dude. And then guess what? That actually turns at negative reinforcement, positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
I remember that time that I ordered this weird drink, and I still to this day, and this was more than 10 years ago, because it was actually, no, it was around 10 years ago. I went to a bar and I ordered, I don't fucking know. But I just remember it was at a nightclub. I ordered it. The bartender looked at me like, "Yeah, man, we don't make that shit here." And I was just like, "What? Probably don't make that shit." And I was like, "Well, let me look at the bar from here." That's why I look at the bar when I sit down.
Yeah.
I walk in. I'm like, let me see what they
y'all
got.
have?
Instead of me being like, do you got this? Can you make this
Oh
or
my
whatever? It's like
gosh.
everything I have is behind.
Yeah.
Just that little thing, but he didn't try to make me feel bad about it. He just laughed. He was like, no, we don't make that here, bro. Like,
Right.
I can make you an AMF. And I was like, I don't even like those, but fuck it, dude. Like,
Let's go.
I didn't know what I wanted, or I thought I knew what I wanted before I walked up.
Right.
Ooh, guide me away from that.
Yeah.
Just drink AMFs the rest. Like, and we had a good time.
Yeah.
Like, I actually chatted it up with him a little bit, you know, before I left.
How many?
Huh?
How many did you have?
AMFs?
I don't know. It was a long time ago.
Yikes.
Too many, but
Yikes.
you know, I'm just saying, like,
One is too many.
That's one of those times where I could have been offended that they're like, oh, I can't make this, or we don't make that here. It's just like, he laughed at me like, nah, dude, we don't fucking make. Oh, it was a zombie. That's what it was.
Ooh, I don't remember what's in a zombie,
fucking
but
make
like
zombies here.
It's very specific.
It's very
thing.
specific.
Yeah.
But I just heard of it and I was
Right.
just like, all right.
Yeah.
Can you make a zombies?
I think
Fuck
we've all been
no.
there where we heard or saw something like, oh, I want to order this.
Right.
Yeah.
You know whose fault that is?
Tipsy bartender.
Oh gosh.
Yep.
Dear
On that
Lord.
note,
On that note.
Yeah.
we're gonna do like he should do and just log the fuck off.
Boom.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Huzzah.